Hey guys, Big A coming to you live. You know where I'm at. Man, I'm at the station camp Greenway for those that don't know where I'm at. I'll be glad when it gets warm. Hey, it's supposed to snow here in Nashville tomorrow. I hate snow. I wished it would be 70 degrees today, but I got the station camp Greenway to myself. It's raining out here this morning, but hey, you know what? We got things to do, people to see, places to go. We got to get after it. What if I ask and they say no? That's what I've titled this morning. Well, listen, when I first started this business, now almost 5 years ago, someone told me to get on podcast interviews. And they said, you got to get on John Lee Dumas, Entrepreneur on Fire. Well, I'd never even heard of that. My mom even asked me, she goes, who are they talking about? Who's on fire? I said, John Lee Dumas is on fire, and I'm going to be his guest. Well, the naysayers around me said, no way. There's no way you're going to get on that guy's show. Well, I sat down, wrote my story. Well, hey, I've been on there 4 times now. John put me number 5 in his top 10 out of 2,000 interviews. Let me ask you a question. What if I hadn't have asked him? I don't know what would have happened. Maybe something else would have happened differently. 600 podcast interviews later, we're about to launch our 12th mastermind group, okay? National and international participants. We have people from 5 different countries represented now because I was willing to ask, right? He could have said no very easily. And to be honest with you, I can't tell you how many people have told me no. No, you can't be our guest. No, I won't allow that. No, you can't do this. I've had way more no's than I have yeses. Just to be honest with you, I tell people no more now than I say yes. People ask me all the time, coming through Nashville, Big A, can we grab coffee? Can we do this? And honestly, just to be totally transparent, I say no the majority of the time. I only have so much bandwidth. I mean, like I can't meet with every single person that comes through Nashville, or I just can't do it. But let me tell you this, I do say yes. I had a guy from Washington State contact me last week. He said, Big A, I'm going to be in Nashville in 2 weeks. Will you meet with me? And he told me why. He told me the story. He told me what he was trying to accomplish. And something in me, it resonated, right? Okay, here's the reason I'm telling you this story. What is it that you're trying to do that may resonate with somebody that you're afraid to ask? You're like, they're going to say no. They might, but I can promise you the answer is no unless you ask them. Listen, guys, we've got to develop a sense of courage to go out there and ask. I thought about this morning on my way to the Greenway. I thought, who would I not ask something? That's what I thought to myself. I couldn't come up with anybody. They may say no, and they probably will, but I can tell you this. Years ago, John Lee Dumas didn't call me and say, Big A, I want to get you on the show. He didn't even know I existed. I still got this cough. Y'all pray for me. But anyway, I want to encourage you to think about the person out there that could change your life, the person out there that could say yes. Listen, there's a couple of guys I want to tell you about, and I told you I was going to open up kind of our playbook, if you will, or our contact list, or whatever you want to call it. But I want to tell you about some guys that have so inspired me that's in our community. One of them is David Kincaid. David lives in Canada, Alberta, and he has Alberta Business Grants. And David joined us about 3 years ago in the Iron Sharpens Iron Mastermind group. And I'm not saying anything that he wouldn't say, but he said it's transformed his life. It's transformed his thinking. Because here's why. About 3 weeks ago, he was going to do a project. It was 10 times the size of anything that he had ever done. He said, I was scared. He said, I'm afraid they'll say no. We encouraged him as his mastermind group to do it. We pushed him. He said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. He did. What do you think happened? Touchdown, baby. He hit it. He knocked it out of the park. He said, I've never done anything like that in my life. We helped encourage him and edify him and lift him up. He had the courage to go and ask, and the client said yes. Guys, that can happen to you. There's not a single person listening to my voice right now that is not afraid. I get afraid sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You got to push through that upper limit challenge, and you got to go out there and ask. Then once you do, you get a little success under your belt, and it gives you the courage to go further and ask those other people. Hey, if you want to know anything about grants, you need to call David Kincaid. I'll go back and edit this post and tag David on this, but you need to contact David Kincaid. If you need a grant, you need to know anything about a grant, he's the grant expert. He's like the godfather of grants. David Kincaid can help you. He can also help push you through those upper limit challenges. I'm just telling you right now, he can do it. The next guy I want to tell you about is Kyle Schultz. Kyle Schultz owns Schultz Photography. And Kyle came to us about 2 years ago, and I'm telling you, you talking about a prince of a guy. You talking about somebody that has integrity and honesty. And he said, I'm going to build a course on teaching people how to use their camera. And he said, I don't know what to do in a couple of these different arenas. His mastermind group got around him. They pushed it. Huge success. Huge success. If you need anything related to photography, courses, anything at all, Kyle Schultz is your guy. I'm just telling you, I'll go back like I said I will with David, and I'll tag him on this post as well. But if you need to know anything about photography in regards to that, contact Kyle Schultz. There's another guy that's actually not in our mastermind group anymore. He's got some things that he's doing, and he is crushing it in his field. But I still want to promote him because he's doing amazing things. And I've got a reason that I want to tell you about this. It's Vincent Puglisi. Vincent, 2 years ago, joined our mastermind group, came in, and he said it was life transformational as well. He didn't have anybody in this space whatsoever. Now he's publishing a book, Freelance to Freedom. And let me tell you something. You ought to open the book and see the endorsers that he's got in this book. It will blow your mind, the endorsers he's got. You know why? He wasn't afraid to ask. He said, hey, what can they do? They can't eat me. They can't kill me. What can they say? They can say no. But here's the thing. They're not coming to me to ask me if I can endorse your book. So he went to them, page after page after page of endorsements in this book. By the way, it's a good book. You ought to get it. It's an amazing book. He tells his story in there, and it is so cool. Hey, reach out to Vincent Puglisi. Help him promote his book because it's a great book. But he went out and asked. He had the courage. Guys, who in here today doesn't have the courage? Raise your hand. Well, listen, go back and listen to this again. And I want you to develop the courage to go out and ask. The answer is always no, unless you ask. Today, go out there today. Please, do it for me. And then call me back or text me or private message me and tell me if it worked. You can do it. I promise you. I'm Big A, coming to you live from the Station Camp Greenway. You guys have a great day. We'll see you.